What's up guys, it is Kristen from Anime Collective. In this week's video I have another monthly manga haul for you guys. So I ended up picking up over 300 volumes this month, and even by my standards, that's a lot of manga. Why that happened partially has to do with all of the sales that were happening during the holidays, but also because a lot of box sets restocked as well. With that being said, there's a lot to get through, so let's get into it. First up are the series that are releasing, so these are the ones that I'm continuing to pick up as new volumes come out. So I picked up Die Dark Volume 3, which is by one of my favorites, Kyu Hayashida. I've been missing her work since finishing one of my top manga, Dorohei Doro, so I couldn't be happier to get this one. I also got Volume 4 of Berserk A Gluttony, which is a dark fantasy. Chainsaw Man Volume 8 is up next. I can't wait for the anime, which is now confirmed next year. I also always love the covers of these volumes. Next is Volume 2 of Dai Katana. I'm picking up all of the side stories of Goblin Slayer, so getting this one as it comes out. And Fist of the North Star Volume 3, which is a new favorite of mine, also arrived. Steins Gate Zero Volume 2 also arrived from Barnes & Noble. I decided to pick up the B&N exclusive covers for all of these and they look awesome. Just reviewed the Steins Gate hardcover on the channel, which is a beautiful edition, so I definitely wanted to pick these up in addition since it's a sequel. I'm trying to complete Bakuman 2, so I got Volume 11 from Amazon. Only 2 volumes left and I'll have them all. I also was slacking on picking up the Shaman King omnibuses, but I always wait for them to go on discount. They recently did, so I picked up 4, 5, and 6. I'm also continuing to get the Colossal editions. I think there's only one more volume left of the Colossal editions and then they'll be complete, but I got Volume 6 this month. Some of my favorite panels are in this one, so it was a joy experiencing these volumes in the larger format. And then I got in some deluxe editions, which were my favorite editions. I got Berserk Volume 9. This one came with some full-out, full-color illustrations like Volume 8 did. I always love these editions, as well as experiencing the manga and story of Berserk all over again in this larger format. And finally, I got the 3rd volume of the Blade of the Immortal Deluxe editions. I have a review of these coming to the channel soon. Up next are all of the new series I got into collecting this month. Hina Matsuri is one I've been wanting to get for a while. I really enjoyed the anime and thought it was hilarious, so when Right Stuf put them on sale during their holiday sale, I decided to get all of the volumes 1 through 13 that have been released so far. It's a comedy, but I found it incredibly wholesome as well. I love the main characters and the fact that it combines slice of life with sci-fi. And it has one of the most dynamic yet oddball duos in all of anime. I'm sure the manga will be no different and most likely will be even better than its adaptation, so I'm excited to read it. Blood Lad is another that I finally decided to start collecting. Some of the volumes are harder to find, so I was only able to pick up volumes 1 through 4, 6, and 9 of the omnibuses. I'm hoping I can find the rest for a good price soon. This is another one that I really enjoyed the character designs, and it's a vampire story, but the main character in this story won't drink human blood. He's actually become obsessed with human culture, so it sounds like it will be interesting. This next one has to be my favorite find of the month, so I found volumes 1, 2, 3, and 5 of Air Gear in good condition at my local half-price books. I've been searching these for years, and I can't believe I finally found some. Most of Air Gear's volumes are out of print, but Right Stuf has a few in stock, so I picked up volumes 19 through 24, 36, and 37 from them. They also have Air Gear omnibuses as well if you'd like to look into those. This story is about underground battles with futuristic inline skates. I'm a big fan of extreme sports and O Great's character design, so I'm all in on this one now and I've finally started collecting the volumes. O Great is an incredible artist, and this has been one of my most wanted series for quite some time. I can't wait to get through the rest of the volumes and finally read the full series. I'm also working to complete one of my favorite shonen of all time, Siren. I've read it in the Shonen Jump app and I highly recommend this one. It's kind of like a Shonen Gantz. But I got volumes 2, 4, 6, 11 through 15, which were in stock at Right Stuf and Amazon. I walked into half price and it seemed like someone dropped off their entire isekai manga collection. I've actually been wanting to get into some more isekai after enjoying series like Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, and Shield Hero, so it was perfect timing to discover some new series on the shelf. So I ended up picking up volumes 1 through 7 of Ari Fureta because I peeked inside and I liked the art and had a feeling I'd like it. When deciding which series to pick up, I don't like to look at reviews on sites like Mall because I found I enjoy a lot of series that got rated okay or low on there. So I just go with my gut feeling when picking up a series, especially when it comes to isekai. This next one has a really long title. I also got into Machi Maho. I messed up and made the wrong person into a magical girl 2 and 8 because it looks similar to something like Magical Girl Apocalypse, which I love. In it, a divine entity named Miu is looking for someone to become a magical girl and slay a monster. He thinks he finds the perfect one, but later finds out that she's not as innocent as she seems and is an aggressive delinquent. Sounds comical, but also full of action, so I can't wait to get the rest of the volumes. Given is one of my favorite manga. I already have the rest of the volumes, but have been in search of volumes 5 and 6 for a bit. I finally found them in stock at Barnes & Noble, though. Happy to finally have these volumes, and I love both of their covers. Mar Volumes 7 and 14 were half-price books pickups. Honestly, this is one that Brad wanted to get more so than me because I'm always wary of getting to a new series that are mostly out of print, but it seems like it could be interesting, and it's made by the creator of Flame of Recca, which I wasn't aware of at first. I also found volumes 1 through 3 of Hitori Jime, My Hero. Every once in a while, but not often, I'm down to read a drama or romance manga, and this is one I've been wanting to read for a while after enjoying the anime. I also picked up Dr. Stone's 1718 at half price as well. Another one I've been meaning to collect, but just ended up pushing off with how many manga I'm currently collecting. These next ones are random single volumes that I found at half price of new series that I'm getting into. I'm finally getting into Kame ga Kill. I've watched the anime and it's one of the most brutal series I've ever seen, but I have not read the manga yet. I decided that needs to change when I found volume 8 at half price. I'm going to pick up the rest of the volumes when I find them on sale. Persona 5 is another I've been wanting to read, so I picked up volume 5 at half price books. Up next is Servamp Volume 2, another that I've been in search of. This is the first volume I picked up from the series, but I love my vampire stories, so I wanted to get into this one as well. And then I started collecting another vampire series, The Case Study of Vanitas. I found Volume 3 for half off at half price books, so I decided to get into it. The anime was one of my favorites from 2021, so I can't wait to read it. So one of the things I do is that I find a creator I like and I go down a rabbit hole of collecting all of their manga, and this month that creator happens to be Oh Great. I got into collecting 3 of his manga this month, and Bakemonogatari is one of them. I found Volume 4 at half price, and I really can't wait to read this one. Ratman Volume 2 is one I picked up off the shelf at half price on a whim. The name captured my attention, and then I took a peek inside and was surprised to see just how incredible the art in this series is. Unfortunately, it was never fully released with English translation, so only 4 volumes out of the 12 released. I couldn't leave it behind, and it still looks like it will be an enjoyable read. The main character in this story is a guy who always gets teased for his height, but his love for superheroes keeps him going. Essentially, he becomes a part of this experiment and ends up becoming a superhero himself, although he is somewhat viewed as a villain by society. It seems like it has themes similar to My Hero Academia and One Punch Man, so I'm glad I'm picking this one up. I also got some other random individual volumes, including Volume 2 of No Game No Life's manga. I'm not sure how this one will be, but I saw it at Books A Million and had to get it. And then I got Bungo Stray Dogs 5. I had this volume, but for some reason, as seen in my room tour, it was missing from the shelf and I couldn't find it, so I got another. I also finally found Jack the Ripper Hellblade Volume 4 on Mercari. I've been searching for this one for months and months, and now it's finally complete. I randomly also decided to get the Barnes & Noble exclusive of Volume 34 of Attack on Titan, even though I'm collecting the Colossal editions. This one has an exclusive fold-out poster in the back. I have plans to pick up all the exclusive volumes in the future since AOT is one of my favorites. Whistle Volumes 5, 6, 10, 11, 13, 16 through 18, and 22 were at half-price books. I grew up playing football, or soccer as we call it in the US, for some odd reason, and I want to eventually own all those series that I've released so far with English translation. So I was excited to stumble upon this one, hoping for Plulock, Giant Killing, and Aoashi print releases as well. 2 of them are getting anime adaptations next year, so here's hoping. I picked up volumes 1 through 6 of Gleipnir in last month's haul, so I got all the volumes 7 through 10 that I was still in need of this month. The World of Warcraft The Essential Sunwell Collection is one I saw at Half Price Books recently, but it was in bad condition, so I didn't pick it up at that time. It did, however, give me a chance to peek inside and see just how beautiful the art is in this one. My friends and I also spent our nights in high school playing WoW, so I was excited to discover that it has a manga and it's really nostalgic for me. You guys probably know by now that I love my zombie stories, so I picked up The Kingdom of the Gods at half price, which is a manhwa. The artist Yang Kyun-il also did the art for March Story, another on my wish list. This is actually what the Kingdom Netflix series is based on, so if you enjoyed it, definitely check the source material out as well. I've been saying this about a lot of series in this video, but the art inside is absolutely incredible. Spice and Wolf is one I've heard amazing things about, so I'm finally picking it up. We went to Barnes & Noble recently with my family and found volumes 1 and 14 on the shelf. Thank you to my parents for picking these up for me for Christmas, although I'm not quite sure they are aware of what they bought me. Mashle 1 through 3 were Barnes & Noble pickups, another favorite we got into this month, so I've actually been slacking on getting these and I'm not sure as to why, because I just read the first volume and I absolutely loved it. I think it was the whole people comparing it to Harry Potter thing that prevented me from buying it earlier. It is similar, but if that hung you up as well, I highly recommend getting into it, because while it's set in a Harry Potter-like world, it's much more so like One Punch Man in regards to its humor, and it is unique. This one is also incredibly heartwarming and has great writing as well. Mash is a character you just can't help but love, who is born without magic, but what he lacks in magic he makes up for in his physical strength. He's the type of guy who's unamused by everything but will step up when someone needs his help. And the only thing he loves more than pumping iron is cream puffs of all things. Mashle is absolutely badass, but incredibly wholesome and hilarious as well. One of my favorite manga to come out recently with the likes of Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, Hell's Paradise, and Kaiju number 8. Speaking of Spy Family, volumes 2 and 3 finally restocked and arrived. I've read this one in the app already, but I'm waiting for these to get here so Brad can finally read the series before its anime releases in April next year. Happy Sugar Life 3 is one that was gifted to me by my brother. I have plans to get the rest of the volumes soon. Konosuba and an Explosion on This Wonderful World is a half-price books find. So I got volume 2 so far, but I have yet to get into Konosuba at all, but I've heard great things about the anime and manga, so when I found this volume on the shelf, I decided to pick it up. A Certain Magical Index is one I started collecting in last month's haul, and I found more volumes 4, 5, 8, 23 at half price this month. I'm also now getting into A Certain Scientific Accelerator. I have a feeling Accelerator is going to be my favorite character. He looks like an edgelord based on the covers, but let me know if I'm wrong. I love edgelords though, and you can blame Itachi for that, but it seems like this one is going to be right up my alley, not just because of that, but also because I love supernatural stories. I still need a lot of these volumes, but they're out of stock right now, so I'll be picking up the rest as I find them. Kakaishi is one that I've been trying to complete for a while now, and I'm getting volumes as I find them in stock. But I got volumes 12, 13, 17, 22, and 23. All I need now is volumes 1 and 14, which are harder to find, and they'll have the full series. I'm also finally picking up Jujutsu Kaisen since the volumes are now restocking. I'm caught up with reading this one thanks to the Shonen Jump app, and it's one of my favorites, so I picked up volumes 1 and 12. My parents got me the rest for Christmas, so I have the rest on the way as well. Also, I gotta say I'm 30 and I asked for manga for Christmas. My parents didn't bat an eye, so I gotta give them props. I'm super thankful to have parents that support my passions and hobbies. Kaiju number 8's first volume released this month, and man, it's so good. I just finished reading it and looked at Brad and said, you gotta read this. I have to say that it's refreshing to have a main character that's around my age. It's not often that you see a 32-year-old MC in a shonen. Although the younger characters keep calling him old, which also makes me feel super old as well. I've always been a fan of kaiju stories growing up in a household that had Godzilla films playing on the TV and parents who collect Godzilla merch, but this one has a twist that makes it feel refreshing. It's funny, but it actually made me cry in the first volume as well. I can't help but cry when the main characters are doing their best. Ralgrod, and I hope I'm saying that right, volumes 2 and 3 were half-price books finds, and I found volume 4 on Amazon. I can't believe I didn't know this existed, especially since the art is by one of the creators of Death Note and one of my favorite artists, Takeshi Obata. But I think this one is loosely based on a video game called Blue Dragon, and I love the character designs. Rurouni Kenshin is a shonen that I've been in search of, and I found volumes 5, 7, 14, 15, 18, 19, 22, and 23. I'm actually surprised I don't have this one in the collection already, but it's somewhat harder to find and fully complete. I'm going to pick this one up as I find the volumes for a good price, so it could be a while before I finally have them all. The artwork in this next one, Final Fantasy Lost Stranger, is absolutely stunning, and I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy, so I picked up volume 1 at half-price books. This is an isekai manga where the main character, who funny enough works at Square Enix in the real world, is transported into a Final Fantasy world. The covers are beautifully designed as well with metallic details, so they look awesome as well. I totally thought this next one was something else when I bought it, but hey, I may be happily surprised when I read it. So Code Geass Night Volume 2 was at half-price books, and I thought it was a side story of some kind. Honestly, I saw Code Geass, got excited, and bought it. When I got it home though, I realized it's actually a collection of short stories that are directed toward a female audience, which should be me, but we'll see since I typically am more of a fan of seinen and shonen. It seems like this one leans heavily into the shoujo genre and maybe even a little bit into the BL genre after doing a quick flip through. I do like some BL manga, especially Given, so it may be something I'll enjoy. Code Geass is one of my favorite mecha series, and Volume 6 was a half-price book, so I picked it up. I'm working to complete these, but only have volumes 4 and 6 so far. They can be rather pricey to collect, so I'm waiting until I find them for decent prices. Another mecha series I picked up is Aldnoah Zero. I found volume 1 at half price. The art looks great inside, but honestly, if it's a mecha manga, I'm probably going to pick it up no matter what it is. Spirit Circle Volume 1 was also at half-price books. This is another I've heard incredible things about, but hesitated because some of the volumes are listed as no longer available. Getting into it now after finding and reading the first volume. Gundam 00F was high up on my wish list, and I finally picked it up on eBay. I actually got the full set for a steal and couldn't be happier to finally own it and be able to read it. But this one is a manga side story to Mobile Suit Gundam 00, and it follows a celestial being group called Fersht, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but the main protagonist, Fawn, looks like a character I'll really like. He looks like the kind of guy that likes to cause trouble, and these type of characters interest me. This next volume of Black Lagoon has been sitting on the shelf at my local Barnes & Noble for months, and I felt bad for it, so I finally decided to buy it and give it a good home. I've had plans to buy Black Lagoon for a while now, and I love the anime, so I'm finally starting to collect it with volume 11. I'll get the rest of the volumes as I find them in stock. Devilman the Classic Collection Volume 1 was at half-price books, and I'm anxious to finally read this one because I love the look of the hardcovers. I'm pretty sure these editions have new translation as well. I love horror manga, so I can't believe it's taken me this long to get into Devilman. I also constantly see this one recommended for fans of my favorite manga, Berserk, so this one is high up on my reading list. I keep seeing the individuals of Sayuki at half price, but I decided to pick up the Sayuki Resurrected editions instead, which incidentally I also found volumes 1 and 2 of at half price books. But I'm looking forward to reading this series in a new oversized format. I also love hardcover collector edition releases, and they have some new full color illustrations inside as well, so I couldn't leave these behind. I will review these on the channel soon, so stay tuned for that video. I found volumes 1 through 7 and 9 through 14 of Ultraman at half price books, so I'm just missing volume 8 right now. It was at half price too, but that volume was yellowing and had water damage, so I'm going to pick that one up next month. Yet another manga with incredible art and covers, and it seems to have well-drawn battles as well. I also heard this one is a sequel to the OG Ultraman anime, which is really cool. I decided to also pick up Welcome to the NHK because it's one I've seen recommended for 2 of my favorite manga, Onani Master Kurosawa and Goodnight Pum Pum. Both are 2 that I consider to be masterpieces in their own right. There are only 8 volumes of this one, and I picked up all of them on Right Stuff, so it's now complete. The story follows Tatsuhiro Sato, a 22-year-old college dropout who has become a recluse until he meets Misaki, a mysterious young girl who invites him to join her special project. He comes up with a lot of conspiracy theories, one being that a secret organization called NHK exists. It somewhat sounds like Steins Gate minus the time travel, could be wrong about that, but just an initial impression. But anywho, this is one of my favorite pickups this month. I have been waiting for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to go on sale so I can finally buy all the volumes, and it just recently did thanks to Right Stuff's holiday sale. They have bundles of all of the volumes that have been released so far, so I picked them all up. A lot of them are out of stock and have yet to arrive, but I got Part 2, Volumes 3 and 4, Part 3, Volumes 1, 4, 6, 7, 10, Part 4, Volumes 1, 3, 6 through 8, and there's a lot of them, Part 5, Volumes 1 and 2. The spines of Part 4 and Part 5 in particular are ones I really love. They're aesthetically pleasing on the shelf, but I love the designs of all the covers as well. I can't wait for the rest to come in so I can finally binge read this series. Another favorite pickup this month is volumes 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7, and 9 through 11 of O-Great's Tenjo Tenge, and I hope I'm saying that right, but these editions are called the Full Contact editions. This series has some of the best art and well-drawn fights I've ever seen. I was seriously in awe of how incredible the art is in this manga. The premise is awesome as well. It's set in a Tokyo high school where warring clubs battle it out. Essentially, all hell and chaos breaks loose in this story. It's a battle story, but it's an HE as well. It's just a really fun and enjoyable read with incredible art, and sometimes that's all I need. I'm continuing to pick up the Fairy Tail box sets as they release, and box set 5 was the most recent to come out. It collects volumes 44 through 53, and it came with some stickers as well. I think the art on this box set is my favorite though. Box sets have randomly been restocking recently, and the Dragon Ball box set was one of them. This one contains all 16 volumes of Dragon Ball, and it comes with a booklet and poster. The poster is actually higher quality than the rest of the posters I've seen in Viz box sets, and it has a matte finish. I was finally able to pick this box set up on Right Stuff, and it is still in stock on their site at the time of this video if you're in search of it. By the way, if you guys follow my community tab, I try my best to post in there whenever I see a restock, so definitely check there for updates. Bleach box set 1 finally restocked on Right Stuff as well, so I picked it up, but it has since went out of stock again on their site. It is however available on Barnes & Noble at the time of this video, and I'll link to that in the description below. I was able to get 2 and 3 in my last haul, so Bleach is finally complete. I already read Bleach in the Viz app, but I want to reread it again before the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime comes out in 2022. In addition to volumes 1 through 21 of Bleach, this box set came with a booklet and a double-sided full-color poster. And finally, I got in the Pandora Hearts manga box set that recently restocked on Yin Press's website. Never thought I'd be able to own this, so I can't believe I was finally able to pick it up. It has 12 oversized omnibuses that collect all 24 volumes of Pandora Hearts, and it's one of my favorite box sets I've ever purchased. I did a full review of this one on the channel, and I'll link to that at the end of this video if you want to get an inside and overall look at the box set and the first volume. And there you have it guys, there's all the manga I picked up in the month of December. Thank you so much as always for watching, and hope you have a happy holidays.